மீன்வளத்து துறை அமைச்சர் திரு ஜெயக்குமார் அவர்களே, வேளாண் துறை அமைச்சர் திரு ஆர் துரைக்கண்ணு அவர்களே, விவசாய தந்தை எம்.எஸ். சுவாமிநாதன் அரிசி அறக்கட்டளை நிறுவனத் தலைவர் திரு எம்.எஸ். சுவாமிநாதன் அவர்களே, தேசிய மானவாரி பகுதி அதிகார அமைப்பு தலைமை நிர்வாக அதிகாரி ஸ்ரீ அசோக் தல்வாய் அவர்களே, டாடா ட்ரஸ்ட் நிர்வாக இயக்குனர் திரு வெங்கட்ராமன் அவர்களே, எம்.எஸ். சுவாமிநாதன் ஆராய்ச்சி அறக்கட்டளை நிர்வாக இயக்குனர் டாக்டர் வி செல்வம் அவர்களே, திருமணி ருக்மிணி அவர்களே, இன்றை நிகழ்ச்சி சிக்கி வந்திருக்கும் அனைத்து தமிழ வழங்குக்கும் வணக்கம். தமிழும் தமிழ்நாடும் எனக்கு நெருக்கமானவை. I always feel very happy to come to Tamil Nadu, this part of the country. Friends, you are all aware that the parliament is on and parliament is functioning. I am happy about it, country also is happy about it. Because normally parliament has to function. And this time people say monsoon is good, and also monsoon session also is likely to be good. Session is on. In spite of that, I have accepted this program because of my admiration and liking for Dr. Swaminathan ji, and also the great work he has done for the agriculture sector in the country. We can proudly call him as a Vyavasaya Guru. He has been right from the day one. He has been guiding the nation, doing research himself, encouraging researchers, and also visiting number of countries, acquiring knowledge, spreading knowledge, and then dissemination of information with confirmation. That are the specialities of Dr. Swaminathan ji. So I always have a special liking for him. When he was in parliament or outside the parliament, whenever he gives a statement, I go through from top to bottom, because he is a treasure of knowledge, particularly on the agriculture sector. Very few people in the country, unfortunately, after independence, have focused enough on agriculture. They have been focusing on various issues, but the intelligentsia of the country, the planners, policy makers of the country, they have paid attention to agriculture, but I feel they should have paid much more attention to agriculture, because agriculture is our basic culture of India. More than 54 to 60% of the people, even still today, they depend on agriculture. And agriculture, you see the name, Vyavasayam. Sayam means help. The very word, that's why I call it as part of our culture. Helping others, share and care is the core philosophy of India. And this community, agriculture community, they have contributed to the country by producing food for the people. Friends, today the problem is not of shortage. Thanks to Swaminathan ji and other great people, we have now food production which is as of now sufficient. But India with 130 crore population, ever increasing population, we are also not focusing our attention on that aspect also. For political reasons, for political parties also are keeping quiet on that particular issue. We cannot depend on, I borrow this sentence from Swaminathan ji's report and also his speeches, that we cannot depend on imported food security. We need to develop a homegrown food security. This one word alone is a powerful message to all the people in the country. Homegrown food security. We are not Dubai. We are not Singapore. We are not other small countries where everything you see in Dubai, in Singapore, you get all sorts of fruits. Fruits, everything. Fresh also, looks fresh. But they are all imported. Because the population there is small, they can, and their economies also are good. But here in our country, you need to produce food for this many number of people. That's one thing. And then in certain areas now, the problem of malnutrition. That is also an alarming thing for the nation. After 70 years of independence and civilizational advancement, if there are malnutrition deaths in the country, this is really a challenge to all of us, including people in the government and who are all in the system. So dear brothers and sisters, today we have gathered here to deliberate on one of the pressing issues facing our country, namely the problem of malnutrition. It is a matter of concern that number of hungry people in the world has risen for the first time in more than a decade, according to the Sustainable Development Goals Report 2018 of the United Nations, released on June 20th, 2018. The report mentioned that the proportion of the undernourished people worldwide increased from 10.6% in 2015 to 11% in 2016. This translates to 815 million people worldwide in 2016 from 777 million in 2015. There are now approximately 38 million more undernourished people in the world than 2015. One of the reasons is the growing economic disparities. The countries, the nation, every nation should focus on inclusive growth. Mere growth alone will not suffice. You need to have inclusive growth. I am happy that the Prime Minister, Narendra Bhai Modi, is focusing on inclusive growth. I will come to that little later. The increase in number of hungry people in the world is an enigma. The extent of malnutrition in India is incredibly high. However, it tends to be relegated to the background in policy debates, unfortunately. We are discussing political issues. Simple political issues also we are trying to magnify. We are trying to create problems on the basis of caste, creed, sex, religion and region, even after 70 years. And we are also inventing issues, forgetting the real issues, and not giving enough attention to those burning issues which should have got adequate and more focus. Therefore, it's quite heartening that the father of India's Green Revolution, Dr. Swaminathan ji, has conveyed this consultation meeting with a view to connect agriculture with nutrition. New connect. In 2017, 151 million children under age 5 suffered from stunting, low height for their age. 51 million people suffered from wasting low weight for height. And 38 million were overweight according to the Sustainable Development Goals. In India, a considerable section of the population suffers from malnutrition, consisting of undernutrition, hidden hunger, caused by micronutrient deficiencies. Hidden hunger, a beautiful phrase coined by Swaminathan ji, because of nutritional deficiency. Many of us also are suffering from the same. Of course, we can afford, but at the same time, we do not know what is good for us, what is bad for us. We are being carried away by the advertisement, by the branding, and by the TV and television and new media coverage of going for these fast foods, forgetting our own foods. We are running after fast foods and then forgetting our own tasty food. We look for something else because of the little influence of, as I told you, the Western media campaign. We have such a beautiful food items in India and particularly in South India, which are time tested, but we try to run after burgers, pizzas, and then you go for what is that, chicken Manchuria, Bulgaria, Somalia, forget. And then that's causing us problems for the people who can afford. Because our food systems and food habits are time tested. They have been given by our forefathers after living thousands of years. And every season, according to the season, the food is prepared. But now we are forgetting seasons and also reasons. And we are living on illusions. So keeping this in mind, we have to focus more on this. The 1/3 children suffering from the problems of stunting below the age of 5 are stunted, while 35.7% are underweight, with more than 1/3 children suffering from the problems of stunting and underweight and we need to address this problem. Some people are suffering with underweight. Many people are suffering with overweight. So we have to correct this. We need to address this problem on a war footing for the country's population to remain healthy, because a healthy India can become a wealthy India. But there is no guarantee that wealthy India can become a healthy India. That's why our forefathers used to say, Arogyame Mahabhagyam. Health is wealth. They said, they never said wealth is health. The NFHS 4 also revealed that 1/5 of women in the reproductive age group are estimated to be suffering from chronic energy deficiency, while another 1/5 are obese. More than 50% of children and women suffer from anemia. It is quite distressing that in spite of the efforts taken by successive governments, at the center and states, the problem of malnutrition persists in India at unacceptable levels. I don't say that the governments have not focused attention. They have focused attention. They made attempts. Here, where in Tamil Nadu, the late M.G. Ramachandran, he has focused on children's health and their food long back. He has introduced a scheme also for the children. Even the midday meal scheme, late Kamrajji also, and then M.G. Ramachandran. Different governments have done different things. Some of the major contributory factors for the malnutrition are the quantitative and qualitative deficits in food intake, environmental conditions and access to health. Here, I would like to remind you that our founding fathers, while drafting the Constitution, has kept all these things in mind and made a provision in Article 47 under Directive Principles of State Policy. Article 47 of the Constitution states that, I quote, "The state shall regard raising the level of nutrition and standard of living of its people and improvement in public health among its primary duties. Any approach to address the problems of malnutrition will have to pay concurrent attention to food and non-food factors that influence nutritional status. 3 types of nutritional deficiencies are observed in India. 1. Calorie deficiency due to inadequate consumption of food. 2. Protein deficiency due to inadequate consumption of pulses, milk, egg, etc. 3. Micronutrient deficiency or hidden hunger due to inadequacy of iron, iodine, zinc, vitamin A, vitamin B12, etc. So I am glad that Indian government is extremely concerned with the status of malnutrition in the country and has adopted the National Nutrition Strategy in September 2017 to address the problems. This policy recognizes the imperative need to have a relook at our agriculture policy. We must make agriculture nutrition sensitive. It is critical that we explicitly make this vital connection between agriculture and nutrition. While we have, by and large, achieved food security, there is an increasing recognition today that food production has to be modified to achieve nutritional security. Our success in food production, combined with our policies and public distribution of food grains, resulted in achieving problem of hunger for the marginalized sections of our country. Yet, as these statistics show, our malnutrition status is grave, and it's time for us to move towards achieving nutrition security for all. Dear brothers and sisters, it is high time that we diversify our food production by moving away from monocropping of major cereals to a system that integrates a variety of food items including small millets, pulses, fruits and vegetables. Pulses cultivation will not only help in improving nutrient-rich food production, but also in restoring nutrient value to the soil. This is important. On the economic side, it will reduce our import burden as nearly 6 million tons of pulses are being imported. That's why the government, you might have seen, have increased MSP and also giving other incentives for pulses production in different parts of the country. Millets like jowar, bajra, ragi and little millets like kutki, kodo, sawa, kagni and china are known to be nutrient rich. Since cultivation of millets requires less water, efforts must be to promote their cultivation as part of crop rotation. I remember as a child, we used to eat ragi, jowar, bajra, and other food, and we used to be strong. Now, as we are all fascinated towards the rice, that to rice without substance, we remove everything because we want white, polish rice. Polish means remove everything useful and keep the useless. That is called as polish. So that's why these problems are coming. Otherwise, how strong children used to be and people used to be and all, how strong they are as on now in our country. So we must get back to those habits. Now you find here and there an organic food and natural food, and then you have ragi mudde, natukodi pulusu, ragi mudde. You have different items coming in only in 5-star hotels. They should come to ordinary hotels, and ordinary people should be made to understand the importance of that food, the nutritional value of that food. It's not for fashion alone. This has to be understood, and media and other well-meaning people should highlight more and more on that. That will be really useful to convey the message to the people. I am glad that the Government of India has declared 2018 as the National Year of Millets, with a view to provide nutritional security and prevent malnutrition. Dear sisters and brothers, apart from encouraging nutritionally rich crops, there is a need to create a market for such items. Promoting or supplying them through public distribution system can be a good option. Government should be dare enough to give them 5 kilos of this, and remaining thing you can give rice, because straight away you can't reduce rice, because though it's nice, you know the cost. I'm not talking of the economic cost, but political cost. Innocent people without understanding, they will start shouting. Political parties also. They compete with each other, forgetting the nutritional value. We need to promote or supply these through public distribution system. That will be a good option. The country should seriously think about it. Political parties also should seriously think about it. We need to create awareness among the people about the importance of nutritional value of food products. I would like to call upon institutions like Indian Council of Agriculture Research, Krishi Vijnana Kendras to take the lead in educating our farmers. Mere research in lab alone will not suffice. Friends, I can tell you, after becoming a vice president, earlier I used to be 24/7 active. So after becoming vice president, people are worried, even I was worried what I will do here with all this protocol. The protocol means the vice president comes to the dais, then Janaganamana, then the speech, Janaganamana, Namaskar, and go away. This can be done through video conferencing also. You must come, meet people, greet people, talk to them, walk with them, some exchange of ideas and all. Slowly I am trying to bring in. So I found a way out. I said I will have 4 categories. One, I will visit all the universities in the country to the extent possible. So I have covered around 55 universities in this 11.5 months. Then I said I will interact with the students. And then I will visit all the research centers. Research in different parts of the country. How many research labs are there? Amazing. But are the research lab is reaching the land? That's the focus I am trying to tell those scientists. Because science is for development of the living standard of the people. So keeping that in mind, that should really reach people, and they must be made to understand the importance of it. And the third one is meeting agriculturists. Reaching research institutions connected with agriculture. Because agriculture is not only my passion. Some people have, people say, sir, this fellow is having caste feeling, that fellow is having regional feeling, this fellow is having regional feeling, this fellow is having language feeling, I am having agriculture feeling. I have no hesitation in saying it. I am born in that community. And I feel proud. I told you, Vyavasayam, help. That's a part of our culture. And they are doing such a great job, but unfortunately they are not getting their due. That's why people are migrating. Even otherwise migration is there from rural areas to urban areas because of education, employment, entertainment, economic upliftment, and enhanced medical facilities. People are leaving villages and coming to towns. Even politically, I migrated from rural development to urban development. Earlier I was a rural development minister. in Vajpayee's government. Later I became urban development minister in Modi's government. I asked my friends, what is this? Why? What can I? They said, a lot of people are coming from a rural area to urban area. You will take care of them. I said, okay, okay. The point is that urbanization, of course, is irreversible. But at the same time, you must take care to see that agriculture becomes sustainable, viable. And people should feel that they are also being heard and their interests are taken care simply because they have no voice or they can't make a noise like others. They should not be ignored. They should be adequately protected. That's what I am saying. This is for all political parties, planning commission, parliament, political parties, press. Everybody should focus their attention. And press is doing injustice to, I can tell you, to agriculture and rural people. Because they are not organized. And they can't create nuisance because they have the sense. And media is going for sensationalism. Sensationalism means senselessness. You must focus on something happening constructive. Constructive. If Venkaiah Naidu is a minister and he has been there here in Chennai, there would have been at least 25 channels. Today I am here as a vice president. They know that I don't speak other than the subject. Less interest. Less interest. This is a reality today. It's not fair. The point is that many number of, after all, what for we? We are here to serve the people, to highlight their problem, the suppressed, the depressed, oppressed people, the neglected people, reaching the unreached. That should be our priority. And the agriculture sector needs more attention by all these P's. Peace means planning commission of Niti Aayog, parliament, press, political parties and people. All this, they have to have some sort of a favorable, positive bias, not negative, towards agriculture, so that it can sustain and you will have homegrown food security. Otherwise, you will be compelled. Please remember the days of PL 480. Thanks to Swaminathanji, thanks to people like C. Subramaniam, late C. Subramaniam, again a great son from this great land. All these people have contributed immensely and scores of researchers across the country. So it is our duty to see that agriculture is made sustainable. The government of India really doing lot of initiatives. The Prime Minister himself was concerned. As long as I was a minister, he used to regularly ask me about agriculture, and also whoever comes with some idea, I used to tell them also go to Venkaiah, discuss with him and all. So that's why I have decided to focus on agriculture and go around the agriculture institutes. And also the fourth thing I am focusing is about culture. Keeping our culture, our heritage, our tradition, our language. All these things are very much necessary. Yesterday you might have seen some Ganesh Denny. He said more than 800 languages have died. Original languages. Same thing will happen to our languages also. Because of this colonial rule, they have not only rooted us, cheated us, they changed our mindset also, cheated our minds also, and developed us weakness for English. Nothing wrong in learning English. We must learn. But before that, we must master our mother tongue, preserve our mother tongue. Recently, I have been to Latin American countries. Friends, I can share you. None of them, Guatemala, Panama and Peru, 3 countries, none of them remember their original languages. All are speaking Spanish, because the mother language has vanished. That thing should not happen to us. We are a great nation, because bhasha or bhavana, language and your thoughts, it go together. Tamil, how much is there to study, the literature, the great work done by Subramanya Bharati, so many people. All this, our children should read more and more, and then they will be able to express better. That's why recently I have taken initiative in Parliament. Now parliamentarians can speak in 24 languages, 22 Indian languages. I brought that change. Earlier also some efforts have been made. But now people are free. They will be able to express themselves in a better manner. And then learn other languages. Even I am suggesting that people should learn Hindi also. I know that I am in South and Chennai. And then learn English. But first learn your mother tongue. Master the mother tongue. That is very much important so that your original thoughts can come. They are connected with the culture. That's why the foreign rulers, wherever they have gone, the French or the Portuguese or English people, they first targeted the culture and they found it's not easy, so they targeted the language. And then linked language with government jobs. So the result, everybody started going to that. How many people in Tanjavur, how many people in Tiruchendur or Tiruvannamalai can understand English in the village? They know Tamil. If you are a minister, if you are an IAS officer, whatever officer you are, you must learn and speak in the local language. Then only you will be able to communicate and you will be able to involve. This is a simple thing. We should have focused our attention more to promoting mother tongue, national languages and protecting Indian languages rather than continuing the same system. Yes, additionally, one should learn English. That's an extra this thing. There can be incentive for that also, but forgetting the mother language, mother tongue is no good at all. I have taken it as a mission to go around the country and tell the people and forewarn them that there is a danger of losing our identity, our languages, if they forget the mother tongue. The Professor Swaminathan's suggestions of leveraging agriculture to achieve this goal of nutrition security is an extremely important one, particularly so in the countries such as India, where a considerable section are still dependent on agriculture and allied sectors. Professor Swaminathanji has conceptualized and guided his research foundation to promote the farming systems for nutrition, FSN, and is one of the approaches to tackle household food and nutrition insecurity in India, rural India. The concept of FSN is a sustainable framework of farming. It involves crops, farms, animals and fish. In addition, this approach calls for the integration of the interventions in non-farm sectors like hygiene and sanitation to improve nutrition. It addresses different human nutritional needs across the gender and age groups through the life cycle. We must also change our lifestyle, go back to our original traditional thing. Secondly, we must also remember that nature is important, otherwise you have seen the climate change. We need to create that greenery. That's why I say love the nature and live with the nature. Love and live. Nature, culture, together for better future. That also has to be understood by one and all. The FSN model is a location-specific, inclusive model based on the resource empowerments and a specific environment that shall address the nutritional needs of families. Underlying the concept of FSN is a principle that household food production is important to the diets of farm families, particularly smallholders. At the macro level, the concepts call for a diversity in food production, moving away from monocropping of major cereals to a system that integrates variety of food items, including small millets, pulses, fruits and vegetables. In accordance with the suggestions given by Swaminathanji, for a synergetic approach to integrate agriculture, nutrition and health, the National Nutrition Strategy was taken up by the Government of India, following his suggestions. Recognizes the importance of the multi-dimensional approach to address the malnutrition. This strategy envisages a role for the Ministry of Agriculture, both at the center and the states. This recognition of nutrition-sensitive agriculture in national policy would hopefully bring about significant impact on the nutrition status of children. I have great pleasure in inaugurating the national consultation on leverage agriculture of nutrition. I wish all the participants success in their deliberations. Meet, greet, exchange, know the best practices. That has been our system. We should learn from others' experience. We should improve our knowledge. That is possible through such consultations. This consultation is very important. Consultation is very important than insultations. What is happening? You have seen everybody try to insult the others. More particularly political people. See, I hope these discussions will come up with substantial recommendations which will help in reducing the malnutrition levels in our country. Friends, as I told you, I feel it is a privilege for me to come here to address this. Today I have come particularly for two reasons. One, because of my respect for him and also the importance of the subject here. Then another important program attending is the ophthalmology conference organized by Shankar Netralaya, Dr. Badrinath, another great son of this great soil. Today, before I go back to Delhi, I thank the organizers, MS Swaminathan Foundation, for giving me this opportunity to participate in this program. Nandri, Vanakkam.